What is up, guys? It is your favorite Otaku Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, it is time yet again for another installment in the Sustain the Industry series. You guys already know what this is. The series of videos where I show you all the anime and manga that I've picked up over the course of the month. Although lately I haven't really been picking up any anime, and the amount of manga I've been picking up has been smaller than usual lately as well. But yeah, it is what it is sometimes. But yeah, this is a series of videos where I show you all the anime and manga that I picked up over the course of the month and support sustaining the anime and manga industry, putting money back into the pockets of the creators who have provided us with entertainment over the years. So yeah, this will be my video for the month of September 2016. No anime this month, but I do have about 16 volumes of manga, as well as like some anime and manga related items, paraphernalia, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I won't waste any more time. Got some information down in the description that you guys should probably check out, and let's get into the pickups. And the very first series I want to show you guys is Livingstone Volume 1. Now this is a series that's been on my radar for quite some time actually. I've had a lot of interest in it for a while, mainly because as you guys can see up there at the top it says from the creator of Dead Man Wonderland. And for those of you who already know about my channel and my interest in manga, I'm a big fan of Dead Man Wonderland. In fact, it's one of my own personal favorite series. So yeah, being the fact that this is illustrated by the same artist from Dead Man Wonderland, which is Jinsei Kataoka, and I probably just butchered her last name and I do apologize. But yeah, that being the fact, this has been on my radar for quite some time and I've been meaning to check it out, but I just never really did. But I finally got around to it a few weeks ago. I sat down in Books A Million because, as I've said before in previous videos, I live relatively close to a bookstore, so I often just go there and hang out and I just read. And this was one of the volumes that I read, and I've only read the first volume, but I really like it so far. It's got a very similar mood and tone, like a very dark and edgy feel, just like Dead Man Wonderland had. You know, that kind of like borderline seinen feel to it. So if you were a fan of that, and you like Dead Man Wonderland, check this out. If you felt like Dead Man Wonderland was edgy bullshit or something like that, then I recommend staying away from this, I guess, because it is, you know, dark and edgy in the same way that Dead Man Wonderland was. It's very mature, and yeah, I like it so far. And I can't give you a whole lot of details because, as I said, I've only read the first volume, but it's only going to be a 4-volume long series, and I believe the final volume releases in November, so I will be picking it up and adding the entire series to the collection, and I'm liking it so far. But I will read the blurb right here on the back just to give you guys a little more insight on the series, because, as I said, I've only read the first volume, so I don't know too much about it, and that was a few weeks ago, so I'm rusty. But it says soul savers. Every soul has a plan, but if you stray from your destined path, your soul stone, called a Psycholith, becomes tainted, shatters, bringing misfortune to all that encounter it. The mission of the uptight Sakurai and the free spirit of the Mono, agents of the company called Livingstone, is to find souls in danger of straying and keep them pure. If your life seems to be flying off the rails and everything just seems wrong, you better hope this odd couple finds you in time to put events back on course, because if they're too late, they might just have to help you along your journey to the next life. So basically, this is Sakurai. This is a Mono, and sorry, I just bumped my tripod there, but you guys can see that a Mono actually looks a lot like a Mockingbird from Dead Man Wonderland, which is to be expected because very similar art style. But these two characters, they basically work for this company called Livingstone, which is, their goal is to basically stop souls from like being destroyed and corrupted, I guess, and bringing misfortune and bad luck to people that are around that area. So it's basically like I'll give you an example here. Just within the first few pages, if we open it up, which by the way, these volumes, they start off just like Dead Man Wonderland with like these like nice quality pages with like color art, so it looks pretty good. But as you can see, we have this like really drugged out looking dude about to commit suicide in his bathtub. It looks like he was about to slit his wrist with a razor blade, and Sakura and the Mono show up basically to either stop him or kill him. As you guys can see here, it starts off Sakura's like, we're here to save you, and the Mono's like, we're here to kill you. But yeah, so you can already tell, like, this is the renegade loose cannon guy who does pretty much whatever he wants. He's definitely the savage, and he's the more interesting character in my opinion. And here we have, you know, Sakurai, who's like by the book and kind of uptight, follows the rules, you know, does everything, you know, morally upright, and tries to uphold justice and peace and things like that. And so basically it's like, say someone's about to do something like kill themselves, well, they still have potential left. Like, they could have gone on to do something great. So these two characters, their job is to basically stop that, help them get their life back on track, and become like president or a Nobel Peace Prize winner or whatever it was they were supposed to do. Or, you know, from my experience so far in this series, kill them off. I mean, it all depends. So like, I've only read the first one, and I keep bringing that up, so there's a lot more to be explored, and a lot of things I still don't know or understand, but it's very interesting so far. I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to talk too much more about the plot, but definitely check it out. And I've spent way too much time on just this first volume, but yeah, I highly recommend it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my rambling for 5 minutes on just one singular volume. Next up, we have Your Lie in April, Volume 8. Now, Your Lie in April is a fantastic series, or at least in terms of the anime. I can't speak for the manga yet because I actually have not started reading it. I know, how can you pick up 8 volumes of the series and not even be reading it? It's because I've seen the anime, so I already pretty much know the entire story, and there might be some slight differences here and there, but I'm not too worried about that because I do want to read the series, and I have absolutely no doubts I'm going to love it, but I want the entire series so that I can binge through it when I do eventually read it. And I believe there's 11 volumes. And I don't know if the 11th volume comes out this year. It's either the end of this year or the very beginning of next year that the final volume will release in English. And once that comes out, I will pick it up and I'll binge read through the entire series. Like I said, Your Lie in April was a beautiful anime. It's one of my own personal favorites, so no doubt in my mind that I will, really enjoy the series. Awesome story, beautiful artwork. If I can get you guys some examples here. It's very, very whimsical and like very cutesy. Not too cutesy. It's not like shoujo, but it's like kind of a mix between like a shoujo and shonen art style, if I've ever seen it. But I really like it. I love the anime. Highly recommend it if you've never seen it. And the manga is probably just as amazing. But yeah, and I think I'm actually behind on these releases. I think Volume 9 is already out. Volume 10 will probably be releasing soon. But I'm not like in a rush because until the final volume comes out, I won't be reading it anyway. So it's not like I need to get my hands on it right away. But yeah, Volume 8 of Your Lie in April. And I did not mean to toss that just like I just did. I'm kind of hyper today. I don't know what it is. But here we have Volume 1 of Slam Dunk. And this is the last series that I picked up this month. Yeah, another one of these. A few series, but a sizable amount of volumes. But yeah, I already know. I can see it now in the comment section down below. Azio and Mr. Sid Senpai, they're probably going wild. Like, hell yeah, that's my boy. That's Slam Dunk greatness, the GOAT. You're finally on the train. Hype, hype, hype. Yes, I already know, fam. Like, Slam Dunk is one of those classics, one of those highly respected, and one of the top selling series like of all time. And if you've never read it or watched it, I do recommend it because from what I've read so far, it's pretty fucking amazing. But Mr. Seal Senpai, this is one of his favorite series, and it's one that he always speaks very highly of. Same goes for Azio, and I'll leave links to their channels in the description down below, as well as their Twitter links, so you guys can follow them if you want. But yeah, I've talked about this series before, and every time I bring it up, people are like, yes, get on it, get on it, get on it, get on it. And I've wanted to get on it for so long, and I just never really have. But I'm finally committing to it. And one of the reasons is because ever since I watched the Kuroko's basketball anime, right, which I thought was fantastic, I've wanted to get more sports, and specifically I would love to check out more basketball. And it's like, how have you seen Kuroko's basketball, right? And you like sports and basketball and anime and manga, but you haven't read or watched Slam Dunk. That's like downright blasphemy. So I'm rectifying that, and I'm getting into the series, and so far it's pretty awesome. And amazing artwork, beautiful covers. I really love the spines on all these. So I'm just going to show you guys these volumes while I talk a little bit more about the series. But it starts off with our main character, Hanamichi Sakuragi, who actually is a delinquent that has absolutely no basketball skills whatsoever. He's very athletic and very strong and stuff, but he's not very coordinated in terms of basketball. He doesn't know any of the rules, and in fact, when the series starts off, he hates the sport because it seems that girls tend to like basketball players, and he's been rejected by like 50 girls at the beginning of the series, and then he gets rejected by one more like within the first chapter. So he hates basketball. But then we get introduced to this girl right here, who he's like, oh, she's totally my type. She could be the girl of my dreams. Her brother's a basketball player. She really loves basketball and basketball players. So she's like, hey, do you like basketball? You're like really tall and your legs look really strong. I bet you could even dunk and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, oh yeah, I love basketball. I'm a pro. I'm an athlete. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I'm straight savage on the court, fam. Ain't nobody seen me with these hands. I'm like Michael Jordan on the court. And all right, he doesn't say all that, but you guys know what I mean. And so basically it starts off that way. Like he starts to play basketball and then tries to join the basketball team, all to get close to this girl and develop a relationship with her. And I guess we'll see how that goes, but it's kind of funny. And something that took me by surprise with this series is that and first of all, I just want to say that this cover is amazing, and this just might have made it onto my list of top 10 covers if I had it when I made that list. This one or Volume 9, because they both look awesome. Number 9 has really beautiful covers that I really like a lot. But where was I? Yeah, one of the things that really took me by surprise, but something that I found interesting, was that this series, the way it starts off, reminds me a lot of Yu Yu Hakusho, which and not only just like the way it starts off, but like the art style too. It was like very similar to like Yoshihiro Togashi's art style in Yu Yu Hakusho. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Slam Dunk and Yu Yu Hakusho both started in 1990. I think they both debuted in 1990. I think Slam Dunk started a little bit earlier, debuted in like, I want to say it was October of 1990, and Yu Yu Hakusho was in December of 1990. And like their art style and the way they start off is just very, very similar. And it just, I don't know, I just found it interesting. They both start off with like the main character like being really goofy, a really goofy delinquent who's getting into fights. And yeah, this is like being an idiot, a general idiot. Like Yusuke and Hanamichi Sakuragi, like they're both not very bright. They both find themselves in like this ironic situation where, you know, when Yu Yu Hakusho, Yusuke saved the life of a child and he dies in the process, even though the child would have been okay anyway. And Hanamichi Sakuragi, he joins a basketball team even though he hates basketball. So it's like there's that, and they both start off with like a lot of gags in the beginning. Like volume one, I guess you call it comedy. I didn't really find it all that funny. Some of the things made me chuckle, like when Sakuragi slammed his head into the backboard when he tried to do a slam dunk. But like some of it, you know, I was like, when's is this gonna get more serious? Because if not, I might have made a mistake. But no, it does get more serious, and it gets a lot better. It's not to say that the first volume of either series is bad by any means, but like they both start off like very heavy, like on the gags and the jokes. And I'm like, okay, this is okay, but like I want to get into the serious stuff. Like when it came to like Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm like, okay, where's the action? When it comes to like slam dunk, I'm like, all right, where's the basketball? And then once you do get into the fighting in Yu Yu Hakusho and the basketball playing at slam dunk, that's when the series both really take off and things get like really, really, really good, and they both just get better and better with each volume, at least in my opinion. But yeah, and here we have volume 6. And here we have volume 7, and I've read up to volume 11, I believe, is where I left off, and I might just stop right there because I've only got the first 14 volumes here. It's a 31 volume series, and I don't really want to go on too much more and then have to wait until I pick up more volumes, which I guess I'd be waiting either way, but I guess I'll just stop for now. Maybe I'll start watching the anime instead until I get the entire series, but we'll see how that goes. Another series that this actually reminds me a lot of, and I guess really it should be the other way around, is that I mentioned Kuroko's Basketball earlier, and as it turns out, I've been reading this series and I noticed like a lot of similarities between this series and Kuroko's Basketball, which I guess that makes sense. I mean, they're both basketball sports manga, so well, I've only seen the anime for Kuroko and I've only read the manga for this, but yeah, there's obviously a very heavy influence from Takehiko Inoue on hold on, let me just pick up this cover back up real quick. This is the cover I was talking about, volume 9. It's absolutely beautiful. I had to stop what I was doing and just point that out real quick. I absolutely love this cover. There's a spine in the back. But yeah, Kuroko's Basketball obviously had a lot of influence from Takehiko Inoue and Slam Dunk. I believe the mangaka for Kuroko's Basketball is Fujimaki Tadayoshi or Tadatoshi or something along those lines. I haven't read it, so I'm not very familiar with the mangaka. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities and a lot of things that you can see were obviously taken from Slam Dunk, which, you know, I think is pretty cool. I mean, this is a classic series. It's basically just like all the series that you see have taken things directly from Dragon Ball. It's like there's obviously been some influence there. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that, like, I even saw the homie Azio on Twitter. He posted a picture where it's basically like a one-for-one replica of one of the panels in Kuroko was basically exactly like one of the panels in Slam Dunk. And you know, some people might, oh, that's plagiarism, or that's copyright and this and that, or that's a ripoff. But I just think it's really dope. I think to me that's like paying homage. That's like paying respect. Like, I thought it was really cool to see. That's just how I feel about it anyway. And then seeing that this is the classic and this is the original, and this is where it all began, this is where it all started and all takes off. It's a really enjoyable experience, and it's really cool and interesting to see. But yeah, I think this was the last volume of Slam Dunk I read, was volume 11, and I'll probably stop there for now. But I am really loving the series. It's gotten really, ever since like maybe volume 7, it's gotten like really, really good, and I was absolutely hooked. And I plowed through these volumes, reading a volume like every 45 minutes. I was finishing a volume, maybe even quicker than that. And here we have volume 12, another really awesome cover. But all these covers are awesome. All these spines are awesome. And I think what I've come to realize, I think it was just, well, I've probably known this for a while, but this series like really like solidified that, is that I love series where like the spines, like they have like alternating colors, like for the logos. I just think it looks really nice. Like you know, Hunter x Hunter or Shaman King, or this series, like, you know, series where like the spines have a different color every spine for the logo. It just looks really cool. Yeah, here we have volume 12. And here we have volume 13, Rukawa the God. Rukawa is such an awesome character. Yo, he's such a savage. I don't really want to spoil too much, but like, he's kind of like not really a background character, but he's like very, very quiet. It seems like he doesn't talk a lot, but he shines on the court, right? But like, he's not in your face like Sakuragi is. And since Sakuragi is the main character, he kind of overshadows Rukawa at times in terms of like, you know, personality. But whenever Rukawa does speak or does act, other than just being on the court, like, it's always something savage, and he's just like straight up badass, and he's really cool. Like, I understand why the ladies fall for this man, because he's dope, right? Especially like in, I think it's like volume 7 or 8. Something goes down in the basketball room, in the basketball gym, and it's dope. it's really dope. And here we have the last volume that I picked up, and that's volume 14 of Slam Dunk. It's awesome. But yeah, and one more thing that really appeals to me about Slam Dunk is the fact that, you know, there's a lot of sneakers featured in the series that like they actually exist. Like, you know, in some series like the shoes are just, you know, just random shoes that the person made up. It might be inspired by like a real life shoe, but in most series like the shoes characters wear are just something generic and plain, just original. But in this series, Slam Dunk, like the characters actually wear like Air Jordans and Nikes and Asics and stuff, and that's really dope to me because I used to be a sneaker collector. For those who don't know, like before I was really heavy into buying a lot of manga, I bought a lot of shoes. So, you know, a lot of expensive Air Jordans and Yeezys for anyone who knows what those are. And, you know, that's just what I collected and spent money on as a hobby all throughout high school. And I'm not really into it like I was back then. And I don't really own anywhere near as many shoes as I did. But like, it's really dope to see like Hanamichi Sakuragi, like our main character, he wears like the white infrared Air Jordan 6s, which was, that sneaker came out in like 1991, 1990. So it makes sense that's why he wears like, because that's when this series was going on, you know, that was the latest Air Jordan. And Rukawa wears the sneaker that came before that, which was the Air Jordan Fire Red 5, which came out in like 1990. And it's really dope. And then later on we see Hanamichi Sakuragi, he wears the Bread Air Jordan 1, which is my own personal favorite sneaker of all time. And that's just so dope to me. Like that's a sneaker that I probably wear one of the most often. It's one of the sneakers I've always prized in like my quote unquote sneaker collection. And it's really dope to see. It's just something, this is one of those aspects that like I can relate to on a personal level, so it just adds that much more enjoyment to my enjoyment of the series, like if you feel where I'm coming from. And yeah, I just think that's dope. And you see other characters wearing like these different Asics and Converse, and it's really tight. But yeah, Slam Dunk's an awesome series, and I'm glad to be adding it to the collection. So there's that. And that's really all the manga, but I do still have a few more things I want to show you guys. One of them being this Viz Media coin, right? So Right Stuff was having this promotion to celebrate Viz Media's 30th anniversary, where if you ordered like $30 or more of Viz Media manga, you got one of these like celebratory coins. And I'll probably get some footage where it's a lot up closer so you guys can see this in detail. But it's a very sturdy and actually high quality coin. It's a lot heavier and bigger in size than I was actually expecting. And once I got my first one, which I think I actually got last month, but I forgot to show it like in the video. I showed it like in the intro, but I forgot to show it in the video. But when I got the first one, I was like, yo, this is actually really tight. Like I want more of these. So I won't say I placed more orders just to get the coins, but the coins were like a really large incentive for me, honestly. And so I actually have 3 of them now, and you guys can hear them clinking around. But yeah, I have 3 of them now, and I'm really happy to have them because they're, like I said, they're actually really detailed and nice quality, and they're just really tight. And what I thought about doing was actually drilling a hole through one at the top and kind of making a medallion necklace out of it. I think that might be kind of cool. I don't know. That's just something I might do. But yeah, those are really tight. And one more thing that I got was this bear claw necklace from Shaman King. This is the necklace that our main character from Shaman King, Yo Sakura, wears. And I've always thought it was like really cool, and I've always wanted one, but I've never seen it for sale anywhere. So when I saw this online, I was actually like really surprised when I found it on eBay, because for years I've tried to track down a necklace like this, and I've never been able to find it. So I randomly came across it when I wasn't even looking for it. Like I think I was just looking at manga, and maybe, I don't know, Shaman King related. I think I might have been looking at Shaman King flowers or something, and this just appeared like in a suggestion bar somewhere around, and I was like, what? I've been wanting one of these forever. I've never seen this before, so I had to pick it up. It was like $7. It took 2 weeks to get here from China, and I'm satisfied with it. This will definitely be getting rocked. And the last thing that I picked up is this Dragon Ball Z poster for the Resurrection F movie, which was the newest Dragon Ball Z movie that not recently came out, but the last movie that came out for Dragon Ball Z. And it's still sealed in the plastic. It's still wrapped up in this tube, so I can't really show you too well. So I'll probably just put an image that shows you the full size poster. But this new store opened up by me. It's called Five Below, and I had never heard of it before it opened up. So maybe some of you guys are familiar with it, but it's new to me. But it's like a dollar store, except everything is $5 or below. So some things are like $1, and the most expensive stuff in there is like $5. Like that's literally like the most expensive stuff gets in there. And I went in there just looking around because it was a new store, so I just wanted to see what it was like. And they had a section for posters, and I was like, okay, let me look through the posters. And they had this Dragon Ball Z poster, and I was like, oh, sick, I'm gonna pick that up. And I don't actually know if I'm even gonna hang this up or put it anywhere, but $5 for a poster that I thought was dope, and it's anime, it's Dragon Ball. I was like, yeah, why not? I'll pick it up. But yeah, that's it. So that is it, guys. That's pretty much everything that I picked up for the month of September. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below what you guys picked up, what new releases you guys are looking forward to. I know me personally, I'm like hella excited for Platinum, man. We finally we're finally getting the first volume of Platinum End next month. I've been looking forward to that series for so long. The cover looks sick, the art looks sick. It's by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata, the creators of Death Note, man. So you already know it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be tight as fuck. I don't care what anyone says about that series. You can't ruin my excitement for that series. Not only that, we're getting the 6th volume of Twin Star Exorcist, which is another really dope series. Hop on that if you haven't already. Cover looks sick on that, so I can't wait to have that in my collection. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the video game, drops next month. Can't wait to get my hands on that as well. It's gonna be hype, it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be tight. The collector's edition for Code Geass from Funimation is coming out. Both seasons on Blu-ray. Definitely looking forward to that. Next month is probably going to be hell on my wallet, and I just said that I need to cut down on my spending, but it is what it is. There's certain things that I just can't pass up. But yeah, this is everything that I picked up this month. Let me know your thoughts and your comments in the comment section down below. Hit this video if you like it, if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content when I bring you in. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. So I will catch you all next time. Later.